One of the things that we talked about at the beginning of this lecture was utilizing documentation to communicate with parents, communicate with teachers, communicate with the directors in your program. So when teachers work together to select, organize, arrange, and identify documentation, they give meaning to the experience that first produced them. So it helps to clarify some of the things that you might have missed the first time around. And we're going to look at a series of pictures when I had a really cool experience that enabled me to have a really great firsthand understanding of how this happens. So when we choose to document as teachers, and we go back and revisit our documentation, then we're able to produce a higher level of learning than that we didn't have before. Okay? So we're going to take a look at those in just a little bit to see how it is. We always need to have permission. If you choose to photograph a child, you have to obtain permission from the parents. Okay? You need to have explicit written permission, and you need to let the parents know exactly what you're going to be doing with those photographs, and you have to stick with that. Okay? So it's one of the reasons that we do not allow cell phones in the lab school, because cell phones, or why if you're taking 37A or 37B, we don't allow pictures to be taken with cell phones of the documentation. They make great cameras, but they also make it really easy to share pictures on social media. So we've had to take that out. Even our parents, when I had my daughter at the lab school, I couldn't take any pictures with her on my camera because it's not fair if any of the other children happen to be on it and were posted on social media. So we really have to understand that this is the way that the technology gives us some great advantages, but we have to be ethical and conscientious of what we do. So religious and cultural taboos, it reveals a child's identity in protective service cases. So we really want to have an understanding of all the children in our program. We might not know their history, so we might think, oh, it's okay, I meet grandma and I talk to grandma every day, but grandma might have the child in protective services with her from another parent, okay? So you want to make sure and have all of that listed, what you're going to do with the photographs, and respect the parent's choice. If they do not want their child in any photographs, then you need to be intentional about how you take your pictures, okay? And a children's right to privacy. If the child themselves does not want documentation of theft on the room, then you need to have a conversation with the parent, and you need to respect their right to privacy, okay? And throw in there. And bottom line is, the parent doesn't have to tell you why they don't want a picture of their child taken. You have to respect that privacy. So if they simply say no, then that is their right, okay? It is their child.